This evening, our remote viewers have set their sights on a particular person. This person may be a major player in the future of the economy in this country. More to come on that in a moment. I'm joined with Brian, Sean, Daz, Edward, Derek, Naeem, and Dick. We're getting ready to go through our debriefs, but before we do, just a quick check in with everybody about your sessions and how you're feeling about it. Brian, how do you feel about this session that you worked?
Uh, well, I think it's very interesting. The person I think is very interesting. There's some budgeting and bill stuff involved with it. Uh, and I'd be interested to see what the target is.
Okay. Daz?
I'm just having a look at it because I forgot what I did. And I always seem to pick up some weird sexual kinks with these people. So we'll see where we go with that one.
Oh, oh my goodness, because I got that too, but I didn't put it, I referenced it in my session. I said, well, there's some sexual stuff, but I'm not going to get into it.
There you go.
That was the strategy I took with analysis. I was like, I'm not going to get into that.
That's the tone. That's the tone right there.
Okay. All
I
right.
was sitting there and going, wow, I think this is pertinent data, but I don't think we want to, because I'm not going to put something down that we redact. So I
Right.
just kind of like, uh, yeah, we don't get into people's sex lives here. I mean, that's
Daz
their
touched on it,
personal,
apparently.
that's their business. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
All right, Edward.
Yeah, I didn't enter anyone's bedroom. It's far away. I don't even remember. I remember the session was intense and I enjoyed it, but I haven't even gone through it. So I'll be going through it fresh when I do my session there. So I look
Okay, it'd
forward to
be
it.
just as new to you as it is to us. Okay.
Absolutely.
Derek?
Yeah, I was picking up a strong sense of it being a person in this present time. Sometimes we get, we've had targets that are
Right.
like Napoleon or, definitely way in the past. I also had a sense that it was somebody like being celebrated or they were up on a stage in front of an audience and somebody well known. So we shall see.
Okay. Naeem?
I think this person, kind of alluding to what you said there in the little opening, but in my data, I would say this person becomes chosen or becomes like the best or the number one in their field type
Hmm,
scenario in the near future.
interesting and highly relevant. Thank you, Naeem. And Dick?
Yeah, I'd go with that, with what Naeem said, but I didn't get financial. I got more scientific,
Hmm,
more heavenly scientific.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious to see how that ties in as
So yeah,
well.
I could be off. I might be off on this one. So
Okay.
some days you're on, some days
Well,
it's
I'll tell you, I'm not gonna share my data here, but I got this ended up in my RV board, and I ended up working this, and I had scientific stuff too. A guy would, so that's interesting corroboration there. But we'll see. A lot of short, rather short, but packed with a lot of different data points in there. Also, Daz, I'm curious about this messy political incendiary piece that could burn the house down. Any more thoughts on that?
Yeah, it seemed like it was again, it had a political feel to it. And it felt like there was that outside group of males that was trying to control this life, but it didn't quite work. I think it might have something to do with that.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it all felt a little bit dark and dodgy to me, which is why I was a bit of a hands off with it. Really, I always am with
Yeah.
those kind of um, darker type people.
Yeah. Don't blame you. Okay. Thank you, Daz.
I
Yeah, that
enjoyed the
was
session. I really enjoyed the session. So, but I am a little concerned about who this might be.
that was some intense data points on there. Very focused on that, the family tree and everything too, I think is very interesting. Picked for this job or this mission and then this immediate chain of events. It sounds like, based on your data, whatever is being saved, it sounds like he does it. It sounds like it's uncomfortable for a lot of people, but he does it and builds this new foundation from
That
what I'm,
that was the
yeah.
how it was perceived. Yeah.
So light at the end of the tunnel, I would say, if things get dark or difficult once we
Well,
figure out.
the intensity of this individual as I was attempting to describe it as a hard-nosed person,
Yeah.
a very strong-willed type of person that would be not too easy to be around. But they're
Hmm.
picked for the position because of that.
Right.
And it's that intensity that could get the mission completed or the job that they're assigned
Get the
to
job done.
done. Not somebody I
Okay.
would particularly want to be around. That's why I'm kind of nervous about finding out who it is because I'm like, yowza, I'm not saying I like the person. Very intense
Right.
individual.
That's again a lot of data on this guy. There's seems to be some dark aspects to him that seems pretty consistent with all the viewers, but you also had this concept of like a savior, a great thinker of our time. So it sounds like there's some positive aspects. Any more insights on how he would be portrayed as a savior or anything like that, Naeem? Any more thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't know. He just has a very like I guess some people would say someone like Bill Gates is one of
Hmm.
the greatest thinkers of our time. You know, he did Microsoft, he's done all this philanthropy. It seems almost kind of like that. Like, you know, I mean, some people hate him, some
Yeah.
people love him.
Right.
That's my sense of this guy.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Thank you, Naeem. Dick, you have the mic, sir.
Interesting guy. We'll see if any of that is true to the target.
I guess he wants that psychic shield because you guys obviously violated some of his most personal
Well, three
aspects
of
of
us
his
did.
life.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the sexual stuff is like, it's not,
Yeah.
I don't, whatever everybody wants to do in their own
That's
time.
that's
They're
their
not,
own thing. It's just
yeah.
interesting that you three brought it back. And not to get into it too much, but you said it's significant to how he got to where he is. So
I think
maybe
it
that's why
affected, who he is.
you all touched on it. Yeah, interesting. You talked about this power thing, people being brought under control. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
I think it feels it's necessary, but he doesn't relish it.
Mm,
I think
okay.
it's like he tries to stay detached from it.
Hmm.
Like he doesn't want to get his hands dirty with it, but it's got to be done.
It's
Just
got to be done.
yeah,
All
that
right.
would be what was trying to come through.
Okay. Thank you, Dick. All right. Well, great job by everybody. I'm going to reveal the target now and go through this. I think you all are describing, there's definite overlap, but also different aspects of who this person is, and what their function is. And I think once I reveal the target, I think we're going to have some aha moments here. And you were looking at the next Fed chair of the
Yeah, I had a
Federal
feeling it
Reserve.
was it was a future outcome
Yeah.
question.
A couple of you said that. July 2026. Yeah, Edward, you did nail that data point. This is the future. We've got to answer a question. What's going to happen? It was really good. So July 2026, we're looking at who will be the next Fed chair. I'm sorry. And who was Brian? You had this big seal that you sketched earlier on in your session. So there it
Yeah.
is right there for you, the seal of the Fed.
He's going to be a
Let's
hard-nosed mofo, man.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like from a bunch of you. You specifically with the hard-nosed comment. Let's take a look at this. What were your sub cues here? The remote viewer, and this is the Fed building here, right here. The remote viewer is to describe our next Federal Reserve chairman appointed by Donald J. Trump. The remote viewer is to describe any chairman's influence and goals that can result in big changes to our economy and banking system. Doesn't sound like it's going to be an easy process, but it sounds like this big changes are coming based on what I'm seeing in your data. That we'll get through, but it's going to be tough. A little bit about the Fed. Often, the Federal Reserve, also often called the Fed, is the central bank of the United States, established in 1913 to provide the nation with a safe, flexible, and stable monetary and financial system. Its main responsibilities include conducting monetary policies, supervising and regulating financial institutions, and maintaining the stability of the financial system here. Just some highlights here: monetary policy, financial system stability, supervision and regulation, payment systems, and then consumer protection and community development. All right. So, our current chairman here, who will replace Jerome Powell as Fed chair. Current Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is expected to remain in his position until his term expires in May of 2026, just next year. While there has been speculation about a potential earlier replacement, his term as board member extends to January 2028, regardless of his chairmanship status. His current term as chair expires in May of 2026, but as a board member, again, 2028. Okay. There is our feedback, my friends. Pending any questions. If not, we're going to kick it over to analysis. Anybody have any comments before Sean goes in and shows his analysis of the data?
You got my money on this Warsh guy. We'll see. We'll come back and revisit this.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be curious to see how this plays out.
I think I've found my my pyramid um, thing here from the Federal Reserve note.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look at you. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Federal Reserve note.
That's a neat connection. Nice.
I'm going with David Malpass based on my sketch.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that looks like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you said Scott Bessent, Edward, which was a very intuitive moment. And 2 hours before we did this debrief, I thought, I got to do a YouTube on the Federal Reserve. And I actually typed in what branch of government oversees what part of government is the Federal Reserve a part of? Of course, it's not. It's not a part of any.
Right.
It's the private bankers. They call it independent, but it's not any way part of the U.S. government. So I had Federal Reserve in my brain. So
Wow.
yeah,
That's like when you
yeah,
buy crypto after you do a session and are still blind to the target. You get that.
yeah.
Those indicators
All right.
a lot. There you go, Naeem.
We'll come back to this.
Okay, Naeem. There's a throwdown. Is who's going to be right, Naeem?
I'm calling Bassett.
I
You're
thought it
calling
looked
that guy
like
Victor.
Sam Altman. I said he has
Put
boyish
your money
looks.
down.
This guy's the most
But-
boyish looking out of all of them. The other guys,
Yeah,
are a lot-
your sketch, Naeem, exactly matches that guy, and mine
Yeah.
exactly matches.
Well, we could have been seeing some of the alternate candidates, right? Because they're all a
Yeah,
part of-
maybe at this
They're all-
point
yeah.
it's not fixed,
They're all
and
part of the
we're giving
feedback.
you the field, but
Yeah.
we'll see. You want to put money on it, Naeem? We'll
Yeah, I'll
bet
put some money
$1.
on.
We'll bet one Federal Reserve note.
All right.
With a
If your
pyramid.
guy wins, I owe you one Federal Reserve. If Milpass, I owe you one Federal Reserve note.
That won't even buy you a cup of coffee
And
these days.
if it's Besant,
You give
Reardon
me
gets the
one
Golden
H bar.
Turban.
One H bar.
All-10 Turban Award.
Okay. All right. And to those watching, in the comments, let us know who you think it is based on the data that you're seeing. Maybe you want to wait to see Sean's analysis. That might give you a little more of an advantage.
Whoever it
here.
is, man, in my session, they're gonna frickin' drop a hammer when they get in.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
They're gonna drop the hammer.
And someone
So-
had 27, 28 data too. So they go in at 26, in May or July 26, by 27, 28 is when that could start happening. I mean, everything's lining up with your data that we're seeing here.
Well,
Yeah.
well, we got to keep this session, keep all our work. And when they name the guy, we'll go back and
We'll do a look back on that for sure.
It could be quick. There's rumors he might step down. There's rumors Trump, is pushing for.
I had some data like someone feels like they're being forced out or they have to leave. That kind
Yeah.
of reminded me of what you're saying, that Powell, they're trying to pressure him, or
Yeah.
They
Trump's been
are.
talking
That's
about
exactly right.
kicking him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible. Nice connection. All right, well, let's kick it over to Sean and see what he's pieced together for us.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how this unfolds in the coming years. But I thought you guys had a lot of really good data on this guy.
Yeah, I think very good. Once we go back and look at who actually gets in, I think we're going to have a lot of good hits and data connections on there. And I think, again, those of you watching out there can probably piece everything together and pick who this is going to be. That's my guess here. I think we have it contained within these sessions. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up and move on to our after action conversation? Anything else by anybody?
interesting target.
Yeah, great.
And very
Great
timely.
test.
Okay. Well, excellent job by everybody on this one. I think, again, the division of effort was wonderful on this as you pieced everything together. So we'll keep our eyes on this one, and we'll keep you updated as this story unfolds. So on behalf of Brian, Daz, Edward, Naeem, Dick, Derek, Sean, and the rest of the Future Forecasting Group, Dennis Nappy II, thanks for watching.
Watch the full debrief, including every detail from the remote viewing sessions, only at futureforecastinggroup.com.